I now declare the December special meeting of Council open at 6 p.m. and welcome all those in attendance. I now invite Councillor Wheatland to read the acknowledgement to country.
Thank you. The City of Melville acknowledges the Bibbulmun people as the traditional owners of the land on which the city stands today and pays its respect to the Whadjuk people and elders both past, present and emerging.
Thank you, Councillor Wheatland. I draw your attention to the disclaimer on the screen. The affirmation of civic duty and responsibility on the screen. The advice of audio-visual live streaming and recording on the screen. Okay, I would like to invite Councillor Robbins to address the meeting. Thank you, Councillor Robbins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Across our nation, deep sadness is felt following the horrific massacre at Bondi Beach on Sunday, the 14th of December. What should have been an ordinary day, people going about their lives, families together, friends meeting, was shattered by an act of brutal and senseless violence. This week, we mourn the innocent lives lost and hold close those who are injured, traumatised and grieving. Our thoughts are with the families whose worlds have forever been changed and with the first responders who ran toward danger to protect others. There is an unequivocal condemnation of those who carried out this attack. There is no justification for violence, hatred or terror in our community. We stand with the Jewish community in the City of Melville and across our nation. Australia is built on respect, fairness and the belief that everyone should be able to live freely and safely. Those values will not be surrendered to violence or hate. Anti-Semitism has no place in our country. Attacks on people because of who they are, what they believe or how they live are attacks on our shared Australian way of life. At times like this, Australians show who we truly are. We stand together, we look after one another. Fear and division will not be allowed to define us.
Councillor Woodall.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to just echo Councillor Robbins' sentiments, and I think in the circumstances and with your indulgence, I'd like to ask for a minute's silence in honour of those who have lost their lives at Bondi.
Thank you, Councillor Woodall. Yes, we'll observe a minute's silence now. Thank you, Councillor Robbins, for your comments tonight. We're on to item 2, attendance and apologies. We have no councillors attending electronically. There are no councillors providing an apology for this evening. And finally, we have the following councillors on approved leave of absence. Councillor Barber, Councillor Panayotu and Councillor York.
Madam Mayor, Councillor Hong is a late arrival. We've just been at a community event together and she's on her way now.
Okay, thank you very much. Item 3, declarations by members. We now move on to declarations by members. Are there any declarations by members who have not read and given due consideration to all the matters contained in the business papers presented before the meeting? Councillor Wheatland.
Yeah, thank you. As I was driving home from work, I noted, I still haven't read them yet, a couple of late advice notes, so I've yet to read them.
Thank you, Councillor Wetland. Are there any other declarations?
Thanks,
Councillor
Madam Mayor. I haven't
Roberts.
looked at my emails at all today, so anything that's come through today I haven't had a chance to look at. So if it's vital that we've considered those before any of the items we discussed, could we perhaps have a few minutes to look at those?
Yes, Councillor Robbins, that would be fine. Are there any other declarations? Thank you. All right, declarations by members who have received and not read the elected members' bulletin. Nil. Item 4, announcements by the presiding member. There are no announcements. There are no written submissions or deputations in relation to tonight's meeting. Item 5, disclosure of interest. Can the Head of Governance please advise if there are any disclosures of interest for this evening? Ms Newman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And through you, no disclosures have been received for tonight's meeting.
Are there any further disclosures from elected members? If there are none, we'll move on to public question time. I now open public question time at 6:07 p.m. Questions received in writing prior to the meeting. I advise that one question has been received with notice this evening from Mr Fitzgibbon of Melville. As Mr Fitzgibbon is not in attendance this evening, the question and response will not be read out but will be provided in the minutes, which will be available to the public on Friday, 19th of December. If there are no questions from the gallery and no other questions, I now declare the question time over at 6:07 p.m. And moving on to new business of an urgent nature, item 7, there is no new business of an urgent nature. 7.1, new business, awards and presentation. The CEO will advise the meeting of a recent award to the city.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Healthy Melville Health Promotions and Leisure Fit team recently won the Institute of Public Administration WA 2025 Achievement Awards Best Practice in Health and Wellbeing category for the City of Melville's Active in the Park program. This program was established in 2015 with just 2 weekly seasonal classes. The collaborative initiative has grown into a year-round program delivering 7 free and low-cost weekly classes across the city's parks and river foreshores, catering to all ages and abilities, as part of the city's broader Healthy Melville initiative. The program reduces barriers to participation through inclusive, non-intimidating activities such as yoga, functional fitness, active light, tunes for tots and sit to fit. Led by Leisure Fit instructors, classes attract an average of around 50 participants and are as much loved by the staff as they are by the community, with many participants enthusiastically turning up all year round, braving the rain, wind, flies and heat to move, connect and have fun together. Importantly, Active in the Park directly supports the City's council plan for the future outcome area of a healthy, safe and inclusive community, and this IPAA WA recognition reflects both the program's impact and the high-quality public sector work being delivered across Western Australia. I would like to acknowledge Mr Sean Stevenson, Acting Manager Healthy Melville, and Ms Janet Amarago, Healthy Melville Coordinator, to receive the award on behalf of the Leisure Fit team. Please congratulate them. Thank you.
Okay, item 8, identification of matters for which meeting may be closed. Item C25353, City of Melville Annual Report 2024 to 2025 has been identified as having a confidential attachment. Should elected members wish to discuss the confidential attachment, the item will be held until the end of the meeting and I will call for a motion to go behind closed doors. Can I please get an indication from elected members on whether they wish to discuss the confidential attachment? Okay, there's no desire to do that. We'll continue on with the reports. 9, reports. We now move on to the items for this evening. Prior to discussion of this item, I'd like to remind the Council of the officer advice note that was distributed earlier today. I would now like to invite Mr Yildiz, Director of Governance, Legal and Risk, to provide an update on the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I refer elected members to the advice note, in particular page 1, which sets out some of the minor changes to the annual report and the pages associated with that as attached. Further to those changes, there is, and due to elected member feedback, there is a proposal for an amendment tonight, which will in essence include graphic design changes to be made to the key performance indicators on page 57 of the report, inclusion of further community photographs within the report, page 74 to amend the title to Stretch Reconciliation Plan and ensure consistency in terminology relating to Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islander people, and review of the use of Indigenous seasonal calendar to ensure information is clear and accessible for all readers. That will be an amendment that will need to be moved and seconded by elected members and then voted accordingly. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr Yildiz. The Director of, C25353, City of Melville Annual Report 2024-2025, the Director of Corporate Services, Mr Tuffin, and the Chief Financial Officer, Ms Ferreira, are available to respond to questions on this item. Are there any questions? Councillor Ross.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a question in relation to the independent auditor's report. And specifically the comment that in connection with my audit of the financial report, my responsibility is to read the other information and in doing so consider whether the other information is materially inconsistent with the financial report or to my knowledge obtained in the audit or otherwise appears to be materially misstated. I did not receive the other information prior to the date of this auditor's report. When I do receive it, I will read it, and if I conclude that there is a material misstatement in this information, I'm required to communicate the matter to the CEO and Council and request them to correct the misstated information. And if the misstated information is not corrected, I may need to retract this auditor's report and reissue an amended report. Now, given this uncertainty, can I ask why the other information was not provided to the auditor so that this particular matter was, uncertainty was not introduced into the report?
Mr Tuffin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My understanding is that that is a standard terminology that's used in an audit opinion provided by the Office of the Auditor General.
It still doesn't give me any confidence that there won't be a material misstatement.
Mr Tuffin.
Yep, thank you, Madam Mayor. The audit was an unqualified audit, therefore a clean audit. There was no findings. There was a couple of minor management items that were presented to ARIC for further discussion, but they were very minor in nature and would not materially impact the statements.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? I need a mover and seconder of the officer recommendation, Councillor Wheatland, and seconded Councillor Lim. Councillor Wheatland, do you wish to speak to this item?
I'll be brief. Look, the annual report is a very important document for the city, not only for the city but for the residents and ratepayers. And I just want to comment on the work that goes into it and also the work that the council has done. the elected member group in guiding the strategic direction of the city. And whilst I'm not across the officer recommendation, I'm trying to read it before I put my hand up to move it. I just want to commend elected members, the CEO, the Mayor and staff for the work that they've done to prepare this report, and particularly the CEO in her guidance and her leadership to guide the city based on our decision making and to bring us forward from where we were. And I think that it's a really good outcome, and I'm excited to see what the next 12 to 24 months will bring to residents and ratepayers, more importantly, across the city of Melville.
Thank you, Councillor Wheatland. Councillor Lim, do you wish to speak now or later?
No, thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Now, we have an amendment on the table. I need a mover and seconder, Councillor Woodall, and seconded Councillor Spanbrook. Councillor Woodall, do you wish to speak to that?
Just very briefly, thank you, Madam Mayor. Look, I think the amendment deals with various minor typographical amendments that are required that don't alter the intent of the document. Also, there's the addition of an abridged version of the financial statements and audit report, which is required, and then there's just that final point there relating to a communication piece to accompany the annual report. So I think it's relatively uncontroversial, and I just, in relation to the administrative amendments that have been flagged, I think they reflect some of the feedback from elected members. So I thank the elected members who raised those, and also the city staff for their diligence in taking that on board. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Woodall. Councillor Spanbrook, do you wish to speak now or later?
No, I'll leave it be, thank you.
Thank you. Is there any voice against the amendment? Councillor Ross. Okay, do you wish to speak? Oh, okay, thank you. So if there's no one against the amendment, Councillor Spanbrook.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will just concur with what Councillor Woodall did actually say, and I know this is a very important document, and I know that staff have worked very, very hard on it, and I think that the amendments are very important, and that they do, you know, that just to ensure that everything, you know, everything in that document that everyone feels included, and I think that's one, you know, very, very major important thing. So I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you. There is no one against. If there's no one against, I declare the amendment carried. We're now on the substantive motion. Councillor Ross, did you indicate you were against the substantive motion?
Yes, I would like to see it go to a vote.
Thank you. Is there any debate on this item with the amendment? If there is none, I'm very happy to go to a vote, and that is in the event that the seconder and the mover have no further comments. I take it that the seconder has no comments, the mover has no comments, so we're going to vote on the amended version of the officer's recommendation. So please, let's go to the vote. Green means you accept the officer's recommendation with the amendment, and red means you do not. That is carried 8-1, and we have achieved the absolute majority. Thank you. We're moving on to item C25 354, statements of financial activity for November. Can I have a mover and seconder for the officer's recommendation? Councillor Spanbrook moved, seconded. Councillor Lim. Is there any speaker against? If there's no speaker against, I declare it carried. Item 10. Matters for which the meeting was... All right, well, We're now moving on to the closure of the meeting. There being no further business, I now declare the meeting closed at 6:20 p.m. Thank you very much for your attendance.